Hello and welcome to today's video. Excuse the casual look, but here's a sneak peek sat in the new house. Today's video is the entire process of buying the house. So it starts off the moment we get our offer accepted all the way up until the day before we're ready to collect the keys. So it's the entire process. It shows exactly how long it took, all the different obstacles, like all the weird things that's happened. And yeah, the first clip you're about to see is the same clip as where we ended the last video, so let's just get started. How you feeling?
Nervous and excited.
We're getting the mortgage sorted. So, we haven't updated in a while, but we had an offer accepted on the house yesterday.
Did we not? I thought we updated that and we
No.
were updated about it all.
No, we never updated it. Like, we filmed bits, but we haven't actually spoken and updated it.
Oh wow.
So yeah. And we had another viewing today to get parents round and make sure everything was good. Jay's dad knows what he's on about, so he had a good look round, made sure nothing was messed up or out of place or dodgy. I took loads of measurements today, took my tape measure with me, and yeah, I'm probably now just going to spend the rest of the night planning out the house. Obviously we're going to keep filming for this video up until the point we actually get the keys probably. But yeah, so far it's looking good. We had to contact the mortgage company and get the mortgage turned into a real mortgage.
We've got an appointment next week for that.
Yeah, we have an appointment next week, and then we also contacted a solicitor and chose a solicitor. So that was a big adult step. Yeah, so
It's all falling together.
yeah, it's all coming together. Okay, so it is now the 13th of August and we have our mortgage meeting in 2 minutes. Yeah, just thought we'd do a little update, a little check-in to say it's still moving along. It's just very slow. Our offer was accepted 10 days ago now, and this was the earliest mortgage meeting we could get. We've paid a solicitor now. I don't think we updated on that. We did that 3 days ago, 3 or 4 days ago.
Got the email confirming the payment one day.
The email confirming the payment came through 4 days ago. So yeah, we're now just kind of waiting and hoping it all goes quickly. Jay won't come on camera because he's shirtless, but boop, 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 boop. So 2 weeks from today we should have the mortgage all completely finished and sorted.
We spoke to the mortgage broker since the last update today.
Yeah, today. And then as long as we keep on top of the solicitors and make sure they're doing all their bit, we're hopeful we could have it sorted for the same sort of time, 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah, we think it's now the 13th of August. We think it's not super unrealistic to say that we can be in the 1st of September.
I think that's a little unrealistic.
Do you think?
By the end of September,
Oh,
I
yeah.
100% think we should be in.
But yeah, the solicitor, our solicitor, so I've just listened to the message and it turns out they have got the pack. So the solicitor has received all of the contract stuff from the seller solicitor. So now my solicitor will be going through the documents, making sure everything's okay, doing searches on the property, making sure that the seller has the deeds and all that sort of stuff. So I think it's now Thursday evening, isn't it? So I think we'll call them up maybe Wednesday next week to find out what the progress is. Apparently you've got to really chase up solicitors. They don't like contacting you when things happen. You've got to contact them and chase and find out what's going on. So yes, I will be doing that. For now, for today, we've done everything, we've done our bit. So yeah, now we just wait again.
Okay, so just popping in again before this next clip, there was a couple of weeks where we hadn't filmed anything. Not a lot had happened. We had figured out we're gonna more than likely need to put a 15% deposit down rather than a 10%, just because of how mortgages were working at that time, how the pandemic was impacting them. Yeah, and then we also found out that the bank that had the best interest rates, we were going to be struggling to get a mortgage with. They kept trying, like, again and again and again. And every day it was just like, we already allocated the amount we're allocating that day, which is basically how we were described. It worked. Like, they have so many, and if you don't get in first thing, you're not getting in. So we'd also switched to a different option for the mortgage, and at this point we hadn't heard back that we'd definitely got it, but we were under the impression it was going ahead. So yeah, there wasn't really much else that happened in between that time. So yeah, let's continue on. So we have a small update. Most things we're still waiting on solicitors and mortgage people for, but today we drove past and
There was a sold sign outside,
yeah,
which we weren't expecting. I think we hadn't really thought about it.
but yeah, when we drove past it said sold.
Yeah.
And it was like, yeah, it's sold. It's us. So,
It's us, it's going to be us.
yeah.
It's happening.
So that's really exciting. Everything's still moving really slowly. It's probably been over a week again since I updated anything.
Yeah.
Everything's moving. We're still checking in on solicitors and being contacted by the mortgage people and the building society, but it's just all slow.
Slow. Even though the house is empty, so you'd think there'd be a bit of pressure from the other side for it to be going quick as well, but
it doesn't seem
no.
like it.
Nope.
So yeah, hopefully next time we check in it'll be a bit bigger news.
Yeah, yeah, we might have a completion date the next time we check in, might we?
Yeah, but for
That'd be
right
good.
now.
Yep, it's just waiting. Playing the waiting game.
Yeah.
So, quick update. I've had a haircut. But also, we got a letter from the mortgage company saying that the application has been approved. So, that is definitely a step in the right direction. And I've spoken to my solicitors and they've sent me the form that the seller sent to them. And there's a few issues with it, so I've told them what I think was wrong with it, and they've started making inquiries with the seller's solicitor. So yeah, definitely making progress, going in the right direction. It's a very slow process, even though the house is empty, so you think everyone will be wanting this to go forward very quickly. It isn't at all. So we're just waiting now, basically.
And again, here we had a couple of weeks where there just wasn't a lot to update on. There was a lot of chasing, there was a lot of back and forth, but no real progress. Unfortunately, things just took a long time. We tried to call our solicitors at least once a week. Most weeks 2 times a week, and towards the very end it was a hell of a lot more, like sometimes multiple times a day, to like ask questions and do stuff. And yeah, everything just moved slow, so there wasn't really an update for another 2 weeks, I think it was. Hello, so just a little mini update. We've had the searches back today, the surveys, and everything is looking all good. So we're waiting to get the electrical and the gas safety stuff from the current owner, and if all goes well, in 2 weeks time could be moving in. So yeah, it's all exciting, but we're just still waiting. Okay, so a little update. Everything's ready still, except for the questions that we're waiting to hear back off the seller solicitor for. So we're going to call solicitors again today and try and find out where that is. We were hoping that by Thursday we'd have a date, and it's now Tuesday. But yeah. So we are feeling quite hopeful about it, though. We have started packing, hence why this room looks like this. I'm currently packing our shoes away, hence why there's everywhere. And this is all the stuff that we've already packed away, piled up everywhere in here. So we called our solicitor, they still haven't heard anything back. So we've now called the estate agents. We're on hold to them now for this lovely, hopefully copyright-free music. And they've looked on their system and it looks like the seller's solicitors replied on the 7th from what they can see. But we haven't been told that from our solicitor, so now on hold whilst they try and figure that out. So we have no clue what's going on. So just to explain, it turns out that the estate agents had no clue what they're talking about. There was probably 3 or 4 times in the end that we called them to try and get things chased up and like moving a bit quicker. And every time we just got a different story. It was honestly dreadful. They had no clue. They didn't seem to have any idea what they're looking at. They didn't seem to be able to work their system. They'd talked to the seller solicitors, who were like the solicitors recommended by them, the estate agents, and still wouldn't have a clue what was going on. It was really not good. But yeah, there was no reply on the 7th. The reply on the 7th was an automated reply that had said, thanks for letting us know, or whatever, like just an automated reply. Yeah, so we're back to what are we doing? But yeah, let's continue on. So this morning we've had a phone call off of the solicitor, basically telling us that things are moving along, which is good. And they've also told us that they've had some stuff back, such as the electric safety and the gas certificate, which we were not expecting the seller to have. So that's good news. So we're still waiting on 2 things, which are new because they weren't things that we knew were going to be needed, but then they weren't covered in this last batch of stuff that's been sent over. We now still need to wait for the roof guarantee because there's been work done on the roof, and there's also a dormer in the roof, in the attic room, and we need to basically either get the building permission work or get something to prove that it was done more than 10 years ago. So yeah, we're waiting on that still. Then once we've got that, we'll be able to set a date. So it's all exciting. We're just still waiting, but things actually seem to be moving along now. We've just still got to wait a bit longer. So yeah, Marmaduke's excited, aren't you? Yes, 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 yes.
Hello.
So it's been at least a week since we updated, and another week's gone by, and we've had most of our questions back, but there's one question that we don't care about, but our lender needs, and they haven't answered that one. So we're waiting again.
Yep.
And they're only communicating via post. I don't know if I actually said that or not, but it means it's taking ages every time there's a query or a problem. But this should hopefully now actually be the last query. Like, we don't care about anything else. Like, we're happy with everything we've got from them. But yeah, yeah, we're still just waiting. Yep. But what we are going to do today is, because obviously like we want to be prepared for when we do move, and we started packing. So now the underneath of our bed is actually completely empty. So what we're going to do is actually take it apart and start selling the furniture that was holding it together, and just put a normal bed frame up that's up the loft, which should also give us a bit more room to actually pack. Although we've pretty much done, to be honest. Most stuff is packed except for stuff that we think we'll use within hopefully only the next couple of weeks, but it could be longer the way it's going. So yeah, we're just trying to get everything sorted. And we also brought a chair today, so we need to make room for that to fit. Hello. Another update. It's probably been around 16 days since the last update, as that was the last time we were contacted. we spoke to our solicitor again today, as it had been 16 days, so over 2 weeks since we'd heard from them. They've been chasing up the seller's solicitor and still haven't heard anything back or even had any reply at all. So yeah, we're still waiting. We expected to be moved in over 2 weeks ago now, and we're still waiting for the seller to do the last thing that he needs to do, which is rather annoying. And yeah, do you have anything you want to add?
It was accepted on the 3rd of August. It's now the 16th of October, and the house is empty. It's been empty since February. We're not impressed.
We're really not impressed. So I just wanted to add in here, it basically turned out that the seller's solicitors were absolutely shocking. We said it and had agreement from multiple professional people that we were talking to, and we also actually met the seller on the day that we moved in, and he told us to never use them due to the amount of problems he'd had with them. It actually also turned out it seemed like he didn't even care about the whole communicating by post thing. That was more they'd only send him stuff via post. Yeah, I just wanted to add in, basically, it seemed like his solicitors were really bad, which was very unfortunate for us, because obviously the house was empty, he wanted to sell and sell as quickly as possible. We wanted to move in and we're first time buyers, so we had no say in. Our solicitors we chose were good, and it was just his solicitors that seemed to hold everything up and not even understand what they needed, which you'll see in a bit that we ended up sorting some stuff out just because of how long they were taking. But yeah, I just wanted to add that in because, yeah. Hello, so I just thought I'd pop in and give another update. It's now the 22nd of October, but it's 22 days past the date we were told was extremely realistic, probably even before. And as you can tell, we're still not moved, we're still not in. We basically figured out that the seller's solicitor is pretty crap, and we think that's where most of the problems are lying. The seller, we're assuming, is pretty old, just due to what we know, and we've been told he's only communicating by post, so obviously that adds on, I don't know. Like, when we chose our solicitor, we were given like a list of things that we needed to send to them, and like given a document to fill in for like all our other bits and pieces, and everything was there. So surely every solicitor should have that process. Like, the main thing we're waiting on is to prove that, like, either prove that they've done the loft conversion to building regulation standards, like they've got a tick in a box basically to say we okayed this, because they took the dormer window out and put a new one in, but you still need like a form to say that it's okay to do that. But it basically sounds like they didn't apply to that, like, so they've just done it without that. So they just need to pay for some insurance for it that gets passed on to us, which means if the council were to have a problem with it and tell us to take it out, that the insurance would pay us the difference in the house value before and after that, so we could still pay our mortgage. So like, the bank needs it as well, because if the bank doesn't have that form, if we get told to take that window out, we can't pay them back. So like, I just don't understand why their solicitor didn't do it beforehand. But yeah, the basic, we're still waiting, and it's the 22nd of October. Like, I quit work 3 weeks before the 1st, so I'd have time to do everything and get everything sorted. So I've now not been working for, I don't even know how long, like 6 weeks? 6, 7 weeks, something like that. which is fine because I'm taking the time of this time and of moving to set myself up and like get my own projects going. But that's going to be a hell of a lot easier to do once I've got an office. Right now I work on the bed, and then when Jay's finished work for the night, if he doesn't have extra work to do, I get a desk for a couple of hours. Like, yeah, basically we're still waiting and I'm having a bit of a bitch about it. So yeah, hopefully next time we check in it'll be good news, hopefully.
So it's Friday the 30th of October. There hasn't really been any update. I spoke to the estate agents like 3 times this week trying to find out what the deal is, and they basically just saying no, we haven't heard anything. They tried contacting the seller via email and left some voicemails, but no, nothing. They haven't heard anything back. So yeah, that's super annoying. I spoke to the solicitor, but they didn't really have anything to add either. So yeah, I guess we'll just try again next week.
Okay, so a little bit of an update. We spoke to our solicitors this morning, or Jay's solicitors. Not really any update. I don't know if we updated, but we'd spoken to the estate agent, and it turns out they were completely confused as to what was going on. So it is still just the one thing that we're waiting for, and the solicitor confirmed that.
Yep.
We then took it upon ourselves to email. We had an email address that we'd been given when we put the offer in.
By the estate agents.
By the estate agents, but it wasn't believed to be the seller's email address. It was like a family member. So we decided to email that email address, and they actually got back to us super quick. It was the seller's son, and they're basically like, we've been receiving everything from our solicitors, but they keep sending us the same questions. Like, we can, like, there's not really a lot we can do. So he's like, okay, great. Spoke to our solicitor again. Honestly, it sounds like the solicitors are pretty shit. Yeah,
it seems like they're all over the place. Every time my solicitor has contacted them, it's like she's hearing a different story back. And they're obviously, they don't know what they're looking for, because they're sending the seller the same questions multiple times apparently.
Yeah.
So
what we've basically said to our solicitor is, get us a quote for this like policy that we need. If it's less than a couple of £100, we'll just pay it, because we'd rather just get it done. Like, obviously it's annoying because they should be paying it, like, yeah, they're the ones selling it, but we've been waiting so long now. Like, I think we're both under the impression we'd rather just get it done.
Just want it done.
Because if we can get a quote back today and say, yeah, we're happy to do that, and we can move it in next week, like, if it all goes through.
Yeah,
like,
if everything happens quick, pretty snappy, she can request the money from the mortgage lender company tomorrow.
It's 5 working days then,
yeah, so it'd be next Tuesday, exchange day potentially, if everything goes really smoothly.
Yeah, so obviously we just want to get it sorted now, especially I don't think we've updated in a few days. We go back into lockdown in 2 days.
Yeah.
So that's why we've kind of, we want to make sure it's still moving throughout lockdown.
Yeah.
But obviously right now is a very busy time because everyone who's in the process of buying a house is having the exact same thoughts.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're just trying to get it done, and I guess we'll update when there's another update. Hopefully, I don't know, fingers crossed.
Yeah, fingers crossed, there'll be one today or tomorrow, won't there?
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.
So, yes. Looks like we're eventually getting somewhere after 2 months of waiting. Anything to add?
If I didn't know that I was allowed to pay for this policy, I thought the seller had to pay for it.
Who figured that out? Who figured that out?
Oh yeah, yeah. But I mean, I didn't even think to ask my solicitor. So turns out we could have done this on the 1st of October when she initially raised it.
Obviously, like, we'd rather them get it sorted.
Oh yeah, we didn't know it was gonna take like a month for it to go nowhere.
And up until 2 weeks ago, we assumed they were just getting it sorted. It wasn't until, you know, like a week ago when we found out there hadn't actually been any responses or anything at all that we're like, crap, they might not have even started it, which it turns out they haven't. So
smooth.
Yeah. We'll check back in when we can check back in. Okay, I have no idea how we forgot to update on this bit, but there's no footage anywhere, so we mustn't have. Same day, we got a quote for this thing. Remember we said if it's less than £200 we'll pay. We were optimistic that it'd be under £200, but we weren't sure. We got the quote back and it is going to cost us £14.87. So yeah, we said yes and paid it, and then things started moving, as you'll see. Hello, so quick little update. On Friday you'll have seen a snippet of Jay, well I don't even know how it turned out because it was really dark, but Jay posting something for a letterbox. Yeah, so that was the contracts. We've suggested a date of Friday coming. We're preliminarily, might be the wrong word, working towards that date. We're meant to have heard back on Friday from the seller solicitors. Unfortunately, it turns out the reason things are taking so long is because the sellers are separated. So one of them had got back to the solicitors and said yes, like agreed to that date, but the other one hadn't yet. So our solicitor requested our mortgage funds and we're working towards that, and then she's hoping that we'll hear back from them on Monday, and just fingers crossed. So yeah, that's a little update. It's actually moving along now, so yeah, we'll wait and see.
Very quick update. So I spoke to the estate agents this morning, and apparently both of the sellers have agreed to the 13th, which is the day after tomorrow. I haven't spoken to my solicitor yet today because she doesn't work on Wednesdays. So I'll speak to her tomorrow and confirm, but it's looking promising that the 13th it's going to go ahead. So we will update again tomorrow.
Okay, so we've just spoken to our solicitor. Jay's busy at work so he can't join in the update, but we've just spoken to the solicitor and everything is set to go ahead tomorrow. So yeah, we're going to start packing and getting stuff sorted. It's going to be quite a slow move. Like we're going to do it over the space of about a week, so we're just taking like the essentials tomorrow and all of our DIY stuff. But yeah, it's all eventually going ahead. So we put the offer in on the 3rd of August and tomorrow will be the 13th of November. So that's kind of the overall time frame. I guess we're going to leave this video here and we will pick up the next video collecting the keys tomorrow. But yeah, this is our process of buying a house and how long it's taken, and I hope you enjoyed the video. We're really excited, so yeah, there'll be more videos to come on all of it, and yeah, do give it a like if you enjoyed it, subscribe down below, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.